think in that most recent series, we got to see the form we had seen in the highs during the better times last year. I think ultimately, Peter was a big part of the reason when KT hit that big upswing, right? He was brought in later for KT, and they got that big winning streak. And also, Dogdam, I think, was a big part of some of their bigger wins, having some really solid performances. So if they're playing at that level, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. Whereas Taeyun and Lehens, Taeyun, you know, we've heard good things constantly throughout his career, and it's just been trying to reflect them on stage. But Lehens, I think, we know what Lehens can do. I think last year it was just struggles to consistently show that. But I remember the LCK Cup at the start of the year, he was like leading the team. It was always listen to your Hyung, and he was that driving force. There were so many games he was just the carry for the team essentially from the support role. So it will be interesting to see if that's reflected today and who gets the edge with bot lane being so important. Now, we are flying to the bans pretty quickly. Nothing too crazy taken out so far, but no mid laners touched yet. And especially with it being scout against closer, are we just going to get Azir Orianna traded off in the bans here? That still leaves things like the Rise open and available.
And the Taliyah trade, which will inevitably happen.
Yeah, this
doesn't happen all the time nowadays, but there's the Azir Orianna trade. What is his first pick? You got stuff like Ambessa up as well, but Rice.
Jace did get left open. So just like Sponge did play Jace, I believe. Is one of the players, yeah, he did have a game with it. 2 games, actually.
I mean, Pyosik should be able to play Jace.
He does actually have a game so far on it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's dangerous to give Pyosik Jace.
Yeah, I mean, I think you didn't manage to get the Rise. I think Rise, Jace in particular is super dangerous because you have the point-and-click route on the Rise combined with like the burst damage of the Jace, the setup as well, is really scary. I think Taliyah plus Jace isn't as inspiring because you don't have the lockdown for either of them. You know, both of them kind of want lockdown with their partner. This Anivia Jace, though, it's like hard to gap close and get near because the Anivia keeps things at like a healthy distance. The Jace can just slam with a poke, but immediately Nongshim slam the Jarvan. They're like, we're going to try and close that distance. They go for the Yunara. This is definitely a comp where we're like, okay, we know you want to play at a range. We don't have the most range. We're going to try and change that. We have a mobile AD carry. We have a Jarvan to try and get the distance. And yeah, it's Yunara Corki trade.
This is the way it goes nowadays.
It's how it goes.
It's pretty predictable.
Ban's probably going to be support focused. Probably going to be Lulu. Probably going to be Nami from the side of Nongshim. I wonder if we get like a Bard. Well, yeah, there.
We got a Bard ban.
Yeah. Well, we are talking about bans here. So, Bard ban coming through. Yeah, Corki Nami has been pretty popular. Honestly, we haven't actually seen it played that much, but it's been popular to ban it since, especially Gen G had a tendency to lean towards it.
Yeah, it's still very good. I think it does deserve a ban, and Nami can be very good against the engage of the Jarvan.
So I think very likely we see, I was going to say Lulu, but they're going to go for the Nico instead, which, I mean, I think Nico with this comp is very good. But it does mean that Lulu is kind of just there, which I think Nongshim could well prioritize. That being said, Lehens definitely does prefer to be on playmakers personally. You do have engage from the Jarvan, but we will see what they
them to pick Lulu, and then Lehens plays Blitzcrank. Game 1. Pulls it out.
Well, it would be Lehens picking the Lulu, right? You wouldn't pick Lulu with Corki.
Well, maybe they take it away.
Maybe.
I don't know. It needs to fit into my Lehens is playing Blitzcrank angle.
Okay.
Otherwise, you know, the whole story doesn't work. It is going to be Nautilus, it looks like.
Nautilus kind of makes sense into the Yunara because obviously you have that point-and-click CC, right, to answer it with the Vi obviously not there, not being taken. That being said, Nautilus into Jarvan's a little bit uncomfortable. Not the most fun to sort of play that because of the Cataclysm can cause disruption, especially with Cataclysm. And I know it's on your own team, but a lot of terrain already going to be thrown down that can make it hard to play this champion. So Peter definitely going to be challenged a little bit in this one. Looks like it might just be the Ambessa coming out. Dudu could end up picking the Gwen again. Historically, Ambessa have been quite good into Gwen, but we've seen players like Zeus, players like Keen picking the Gwen into the Ambessa and doing really well in the matchup. So we'll see if they opt for that. It is just a Leona for Lehens. I think a lot of players would have taken Lulu here, but Lehens definitely a player to say, I want to have the agency, I want to be the playmaker. And Dudu not going to be following the line of Zeus or Keen, it seems, and saying, I'm just going to play something stable. We have enough damage on our team, which I think makes sense.
You definitely do.
Rek'Sai, very stable. And honestly, I feel like Rek'Sai is one of those picks that you think of like early game, but he's been a menace in the later stages. If you can't pin him down and just shred him, it just feels like he's so disruptive. In team fights even,
and he's going to be the last target for this composition of Nongshim. So you're going to be going after Anivia, you're going to be going after Jason, Corki, even the Nautilus.
It's weird to say because I genuinely don't think of Rek'Sai. I think of her as like a, again, everyone thinks of like an early game champion, but like we've seen her have so much impact in these team fights in the later stages in the LCK, and be really disruptive. So Dudu picking that one up, and I think ultimately, honestly, DM Freaks. Pretty happy with their composition and what they have on offer here. The Jace obviously a pick that has a lot of value, a lot of poke, that outranges the enemy composition quite hard. You have the Anivia to keep them at bay. I do think my only caveat that I'm a little concerned about is it's not the easiest composition to pilot, right? You're very much playing around keeping the enemy team at bay. You're very much playing around spacing and playing around your poke tools, disrupting their engage. If you mess up, if you overstep, if the Jace steps too far forward, if Closer is in an uncomfortable position, you will just crumble. So you have the tools, it's whether you can execute on it, whereas for the side of Nongshim, it's just see champion, kill champion.
Well, we'll see if they can do it in game number 1. Game number 1 on the cards here for DNS versus NS. Definitely, you know, we had Xiu versus Jiwoo in game or match number 1 tonight. Now we're getting DNS versus NS, obviously Nongshim. Try not to get those mixed up. We generally call Nongshim and not NS, but with DNS on the other side, can be a little bit awkward. But excited to see Closer on a Anivia pick. Obviously a very common pick into Rise nowadays, but this is the, you know, I'm going to pick Akali, I'm going to pick Aurelia, I'm going to pick something that will get into the backline and deal damage player. But now he's playing the exact opposite of that in Anivia, so curious to see him on a pick like this.
Yep, we'll see how practice he is on the matchup. I do think one of the things with the Rise is it's obviously an uncomfortable matchup, but having the phase rush and the ghost does give you a little bit of sort of ability to navigate and get out of sort of the slow area, but you are still very short range. And this composition in general for Nongshim is short range. It's going to largely be about your gap closing tools, but you do have them, right? You have the Ambessa, you have the Jarvan, you have the Leona, and this is why Leona feels much better than like a Nautilus into Anivia, because the Nautilus kind of needs to close the distance, especially get the dredge line down. If you ult, it just doesn't do that much because you can like put the wall down before it gets there, whereas Leona can like ult over, you can E over the wall. But yeah, so far lane going pretty okay for Lehens and Taeyun.
She can also tank a lot more, you know, whereas Nautilus, if he gets into an awkward spot,
yeah, he's so squishy.
He can just die, he can get trapped, and then that's like over for him.
The W is really good into the tick damage of the Anivia as well.
Exactly. So, does feel very good. You know, could have gone for Lulu, but especially with the Nautilus shown, it's like, okay, we're going to win lane, and also it's a fantastic pick with Yunara and Jarvan and
I think as well,
Ambessa.
When you think about what Nongshim's composition needs to do, yes, would the Lulu enable the Yunara? Absolutely. But would it change drastically how you're playing out the team fights? Because I still think you kind of need to close distance, and sure, it would bolster Taeyun a lot, but you know, maybe you're just like, you're conscious of the fact that you're going to get poked out and you need to get onto the backline, and that's more important than buffing up Taeyun, who at some point is still going to just be able to do his thing.
I mean,
but we'll see.
Leona's good into a lot of the picks on the side of DNS, so I think it's still a good choice, and it fits the player, as you were mentioning.
Ah yes, the
well.
Jace gank.
Yes.
Wow, so cool.
I mean, Dudu is already doing really well, as you would expect. I mean, Rek'Sai is not really killable by Ambessa at this point in the game until she gets a first item, probably. And so just coming up there and adding insult to injury and getting money. And that's really what the Jace is all about.
Yep, just get the first strike, proc, get a bit of gold. As you're going for your recall as well, the perfect time. Scout doing pretty well in this matchup so far. I think at 6 is where it's a bit more uncomfortable when the ult's available. But the wave actually not a great spot for closer. He's just going to TP back though, so it's not a major concern.
Picks up a tier. Ruby Crystal. And the engage does come in, but part of the reason why you pick Corki is to deal with stuff like Leona.
Yeah, something to be conscious of. Both supports go and ignite. We've seen so much of the heal meta in bot lane for supports. Both of them like, you know, I want the extra damage, I want the extra kill pressure. And obviously, Doctam go and cleanse, which I think makes a lot of sense into a Leona and a Ryze as well for that extra bit of safety. But it does mean it's a bit of a summoner advantage for the enemy bot lane, having that barrier, that extra durability in the 2v2.
Yeah, certainly going to enjoy that a lot. We're looking a lot more at the top lane in this game.
This is... if Kane uses his W, this could be close to kill pressure.
Yeah. But Dudu's just getting really good trades.
If
and
he
now
hits 6,
Kingen,
if he gets to level up, that could be a kill.
Kingen has to respect this, and he will back away.
He's 1 minion away. Like, he has to leave.
You can see Kingen is like, I don't want to leave, but I have to.
There it is, yeah.
Level 6.
I mean, he has TP, so...
Yeah.
And the question is, does Dudu just end up saving his? Because I think he could just get a recall off and then reserve his TP for later.
He's not even leaving just yet.
Oh, he's going for a proxy.
He's proxying, yeah. He's getting in there. And again, there's not much that King can do for a very long time. Picked up the Executioner's calling as well, so that just means that his Eclipse is delayed.
Yep. Which you feel really good about. You know, it's such a big spike for the Ambessa. Especially lane Ambessa. Don't really see it as much in jungle Ambessa, but such a good spike if you want to have kill pressure onto the Rek'Sai.
You know, I talked about my 2-0 prediction for DNS in this matchup, talking a lot about the bot lane, but also, as you mentioned yesterday, Ox, it is the year of Dudu, in fact. We thought maybe it was the year of Vikla for a little bit there in the LCK Cup. It's not the case. It's the year of Dudu, and he is already popping off here.
Just the Jace ganks. Again, you know, just come on over, shock blast, don't do anything else.
He's getting money.
The Hens gets chunked out, he gets money.
That's all that matters.
I mean, it was good timing from Peter because he waited for the minion to die to land the dredge line to set that up. But the Hens get some honey fruit, won't really do much to the lane itself. And with the priority that's been achieved here, and the fact that Sponge already at level 6, they pick up the dragon. So first dragon secured. I also want to note that Scout's been doing pretty good in the mid lane matchup still. You know, even with 6 being hit by closer, Scout's still having pressure in this matchup. We've seen things start to go wrong earlier in this for the Ryze in the LCK, so Scout doing good there.
Some of those picks have been Chovy as well. Peter stuck around and just died for it. I'm not really sure what the idea of sticking around was in the first place. And then Lehens hit level 6, put down a ward, and engaged on him.
Yeah, that was really weird from Peter. Stuck around, I'm not sure what their thought process was here. Didn't really have the setup to go for the play, especially when you don't have 6 and Doctam doesn't add it. Lehens bought the wrong boots. For a second, bought Sork shoes, and then refunded them. Yeah, there was a ward in that brush, so just...
Yeah.
I think he was assuming Lehens had reset, and was like, I can, being here, maybe set up a trap for Taeyun.
I think they just got back.
I think maybe he just hadn't seen it. I don't know. I assume that there was some information we had that he didn't, otherwise...
Because Lehens was backing in the river, and yes, Peter didn't see it, but like, they got Dragon, they left, and then he must have seen them return to the lane, or at least Taeyun, right?
Yeah.
But not the support, I guess. Where could he be? Maybe in that unwarded brush.
Perhaps.
Yeah, interesting start for him. Closer is now level 7, so he can actually do things here. Gonna land the stun and immediately back away, and Peter is just dead again. Doesn't have flash, so again, there's just no escape for him. They're gonna give this kill over to Scout, and that is a second death as they try to set up something in mid lane.
Yeah, you can't make a play like this without your jungler there, because if the enemy team has the backup and you don't, you're just doomed immediately. So Peter tries to be proactive, especially without sums, ends up costing him immediately, and advantage for both mid and bot of Nongshim so far. And now Doctor might be in a little bit of trouble if this play can come through. Scout's moving.
Oh,
no.
He is. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Try clear the wave.
Yeah, he has Flash Cleanse available. He's going to get slowed up. There's the Slurkle as well. And there is the Flash. And Peter comes up, but guess who's here? It's Taehoon and Scout getting in and getting that kill. Pyoshik trying to come in and get the kill. He does take down Sponge, but that is it. He immediately dies. So 2 kills now to Scout. He's up to 3-0, feeling like Showmaker from the first series. And I think Peter just dies a 3rd time. There's really no escape for him. And he's not going to trade back a kill either. So 2 kills for Taehoon, 3 for Scout, and Closer's hitting the turret.
Absolutely devastating from Nongshim there in this situation. I mean, this was an earlier play. Scouted completely by Lehens, has the lens over the wall, so knows Peter's there. Kind of expects what he's going. The Hex Flash even has a bit of an animation, so I wonder if he even could see that with the red outline. And then here, they kind of know the play is coming, they try and react. But this just ends up backfiring so horribly. One big aspect is Pyoshik goes to range form, dumps his damage into Scout, but then has to try and go for Sponge, runs in, and then just dies for a 1 HP Jarvan. So yes, he gets the kill, but you know, he was about to die anyway, pretty much. Like, yes, he gets the money, but it means you've traded your full HP for his 1 HP.
Yeah.
And that means there's no one to defend Peter, who just dies again. So now it's 5-1 in kills. Peter is potentially in danger again, does just dredge line away. But it's 3-0-1 for the Rise mid. It's 2-0-2 for Taehoon on this AD carry.
Yeah, the Unara is the biggest issue, I think. They do have Nautilus for team fights, but if Nongshim gets far enough ahead, you know, 1 Nautilus ult is not going to be enough.
It just really won't be.
Taehoon can just kind of shake it off. He's got the Leona Ambessa Jarvan frontline. I think he'll be totally fine. And Closer's like, well, I'm an Ivy. I'm just laning. I can't really follow Rise on a gank in the bottom lane, but just feels kind of useless at the moment. The stun is going to come in, and Pyoshik is here for the damage gank. So now Sponge comes over.
That's kind of the power of Phase Rush. The slow resist as well. Able to get Scout away. Oh, the old
double! Solar Flare comes in. And that's just going to be the Valkyrie away. It's still a very excellent trade here from Lehens and Taehoon.
Yeah, ends up being both ults from Nongshim bot lane traded for the ult of Peter, so they're okay with that. And look at the pressure that the bot lane has in this 2v2. I mean, it's Kraken Slayer competed for Taehoon, so he just has so much damage right now in comparison. And it's going to be 2nd Dragon picked up already. This game is just starting to feel like it's a struggle for DNS to find a window back in. Yeah. The only caveat you kind of have is that Dudu and Pyoshik are at least ahead of their counterparts.
Yeah, but
that almost makes it feel worse though, because it's like the fact there's only a 1.6k gold lead is because the top jungler offsetting the massive lead Taehoon has.
Okay, Sponge doesn't have Smite, but it turns out it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. They do get the flash out of Sponge at least, as it is Cloud Soul, which will be gigantic for Nongshim if they pick that up like mad. Yeah,
the movement speed is, as you said, the big issue is closing the distance on this enemy composition. The movement speed is so valuable.
It's huge.
And the point I was making is, so the 800 gold advantage that Dudu and Pyoshik has, that just kind of offsets the fact that, you know, Taehoon's gold lead is bigger than his team's gold lead. That's the real issue we're having here. He's so fed. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, if DNS takes another bad fight, like, the game might just be over. We already saw it twice today.
In fairness, some of it's going to be clawed back by the quest completion. That's going to come in soon.
Sure.
So that's something, at least. And he did complete an item. He gets a bit of cashback gold, I assume. Actually, we see a lot of Corkies go jack of all trades, so I'm not 100% certain if he has cashback.
Well,
actually, the gold lead did just close by a good amount, so I think he does have cashback. So I'm going to assume he does. And he will have his quest in a moment. And you know what? Feeling a little bit better. Feeling a little bit better. Quest is about to come in now. He does have cashback, we just had it confirmed. Cashback Quest coming in. You know what? We fixed it. We fixed the economy, Brendan. We've solved it.
Did he get a bailout?
He did.
A little bailout from Cashback. He's like, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
For that 3, or I don't know exactly how much it would be on the Trinity Force buy. A lot of gold back.
Maybe about 260 goldish.
It's very specific. Only the supports have not finished their quests. Not quite on the same level as Career from the first series.
Yeah, he was speedrunning his.
Yeah.
Okay, so gold lead not actually that crazy now,
Yeah.
but it's just where the gold is.
Also, for me, gold leads, you know, if you're not DK with like an 8,000 gold lead at 7 minutes or whatever they had, gold leads aren't real. Like, we've seen so many teams throw gold leads. The team's not being able to close out games because there's only Baron and it's harder to take, and or they're able to break the base, but they can't break the game open for the win. But there's still a lot on the side of Gnomeshin that feels good in a late game. It's not like they're running an Akali and a dive comp, so...
It depends on setup and how they execute. Those are the big things. So we'll have to see how they play things out. It is 2 dragons to Gnomeshin. That's something I'm concerned about, is the more dragons they get, getting that soul, the movement speed, the slow resist, all massive factors for how this composition needs to operate and closing the gap on the backline. And the big thing is that Gershik is pretty strong on this Jace. Those shock blasts, a good shock blast on the right target will make all the difference when it comes to setting up for these neutrals. And just making things pretty scary.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of Jaces from behind, though. Just kind of like land a shock blast and then they just go in and die. Or they don't go in at all and it's like, well, you landed the shock blast, but your team died because you're very far behind. You know, sometimes if you don't have a playmaker from the jungle, it can feel a little awkward, especially from behind us. There's a big shock blast. That's what we're looking for.
It's a good poke, but
unfortunately there.
Doctor takes some back in return, but still. Finding some poke like that definitely helpful. Kingen now has his Eclipse, but it's still into a Rek'Sai, who just kind of heals up. Oh no, Peter.
All right, well, Peter is in a lot of trouble here. Doesn't look like he'll be getting out of this one.
Yeah, he doesn't get a bailout.
And Taeun got the kill as well.
Yeah, not ideal.
I'm not sure what's with our supports today. They're really struggling to stay out of gray screen simulator.
A lot of dying, ultimately. Not having a fun time. Just a tricky one, I think, again, the Nautilus into this composition, you know, when you get jumped on by the Leona Jarvan, it's just hard to disengage. And I think Nautilus just feeling very squishy right now with the amount of champions who have inflated gold, inflated stats. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. You get flag and drag, you get ulted, you're just dead, your team's not there to respond.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
If they're in the brush, you die.
Yep.
That's the issue, and that's where he needs to recognize, okay, I can't just face check this, even just to drop a ward.
He's trying to sneak vision, like his team's not there to back him up. It's like, I'm trying to sneak vision in the hopes they're not there.
But if they're there, you die.
Yeah, that's actually how it plays out. And now, DNS are trying to contest this dragon, but they're a little bit slow. They do have a nice ward there, which isn't spotted by the control ward, but this is going quickly. And the problem is, your jungle is a Jace. You don't really want your Jace in melee range to smite, but if this dragon goes...
Oh, he's just going to get flashed on and engaged on, and Pilsik doesn't get to play the game, although Sponge is taking a huge amount of damage. He will survive. For now, as he is incredibly low, but at least they do have the smite still. Scout is making plays in this one, although he might have to pay for it, but still, the dragon goes over to the side of Gnomeshin, and yeah, we did get 1 kill for DNS. But now we got Cloud Soul Point for Gnomeshin.
Yeah, great setup by Gnomeshin, great angle, and Scout just finding the jungler there. And yeah, it's a 1-for-1, but you got the dragon. 3 dragons in pocket, Cloud Soul 1 away is a great position to be in. You'll get mid-tier 1 as well. The gold overall is still close, but you're getting really what you need. Well, sometimes it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, it's Ambassador. It's hard.
Yeah, so this is just a great angle from Scout. The control was already there. Peter goes to ward as they find it, and the follow-up is just immediate. And Sponge, it's close, right? And Peter gets this great dredge line that finds Scout. Scout, honestly, he's trying to zone them away, but he should have just backed off, I think. But, you know, it's not even that big of a hit. It is a shutdown, right? And Dudu gets it.
It's like 700 gold.
Yeah, in terms of gold, you are losing out on the back of that play, but the dragon being secured, you're happy with that. You'll take it. You got what you wanted. And now the pressure is really on DNS to find an angle before this next dragon is up and available, or you're staring down just a permanent Cloud Soul.
Yeah, that's almost unplayable at that point. If Noshim are ahead and they have Cloud Soul, they close the distance so fast. They have a bunch of slow resistance from the individual Cloud Drakes. It's not easy. It
makes it so hard for, like, even just hitting Shock Blast, even something as simple, or Dredge Lines, even just those, like 15% extra movement speed on everyone on the team.
You don't win those trades. Taeyeon just kind of ruling the mid lane. Those are trying to trade back, but everybody's here. Some cleared vision, but really just fighting over this brush. Meanwhile, Duckdom again, trying to just hold his own under the turret.
Feels like there's so much pressure right now from Nongshim, and other than top lane, right? And by top lane, I mean the top lane matchup, not actual top lane.
Yeah.
Dudu's doing great. You're Dudu.
It is the Dudu. Confirmed.
Everywhere else, not so much. You know, Scout picks up a Ceres that's now fully stacked. And undoubtedly working towards an actualizer. So this is kind of approaching critical mass because the Yunara is only getting stronger. The Rise is going to be approaching 3 items. You have 2 minutes 20. And I think the main issue we had with the last Dragon was they were there so late. They didn't have the setup. You want to be there first, controlling the space, and you want to be the ones who kind of can have it locked down, be firing Shock Blasts, and have the Anivia setting up. I think part of the issue as well is because they're on blue side, it's very difficult to be set up there first. It's much easier for the red side team to be the ones on the Dragon area, to be setting up around there.
Even just to get Banana Brush control and start from there.
Yeah.
And, you know, begin fleshing out your vision.
Well, Closer's trying to be enticing.
He didn't try hard enough.
No.
He did not attack the enemy turret.
Oh my god. This is truly a test of willpower. Pyosik has to resist the urge to send a Shock Blast at Scout for free gold. If he does, he gives away that they're in the brush.
I mean, Scout is
But if he doesn't collect
he's not buying
a little bit of gold.
Well, it seems like they want to make a play on a closer, actually, but this is... I mean, there are a bunch of members from Nongshim up here, and we're going to throw an ult into Scout, and yeah, I mean, Lahens is right there to block all the damage. They're trying to take him out, but now Sponge is here, and the flag's away, and the big Cataclysm comes in from Sponge, and they are just baited 100%. Duckdom finds himself in a 1v1 with Taeyeon, which he's never going to win, and Nongshim get a gigantic fight, and Dudu's just in the bottom lane like, guys, come on, I just TP'd bot.
Well, at least the Dudu is still going strong.
Yeah.
The rest of his team, though, not so much. And Baron will be the prize for this. Nongshim were ready. Felt like they had a read on this play. And weren't surprised at all when the attempt came in. DNS definitely feeling a little bit desperate when they set up for this. There's actually a ward you can see in the control brush on the top side of the map. So if you actually look on the mini-map, you can see like there's wards in the enemy jungle. I wonder if they spotted them moving up here, and that's why they knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Either way, they end up moving over. They're not really too surprised by this. This engage from Sponge, though, with the follow-up from the Hens. Yeah. Brutalized.
Yeah, we saw also the TP was actually interrupted, so they thought they would have Dudu. Honestly, actually, even if Dudu's there, I don't think...
I said about the ward there. The ward there was pretty new, so I don't think it was old enough for them to have seen them. I think they were just ready for the prospect of them being there.
Yeah, they had an idea one way or another.
Yeah. You know, it was... Closer was trying to look enticing. Scout looked even more enticing.
Yeah. Well, now...
Well, DNS don't have control. It's so hard for them to move in here.
Yeah. They have to get in there, though. There's, like, really not an option to give away Cloud Soul here, but they're down 5,500 gold.
Oh, the Shock Blast missed.
Yeah, he hit the first one, missed the second one, and every single one he misses might be a death sentence for his team. Trying to zone their way in. Peter not going to hit the hook. They do get in, but that's the Cloud Soul for the side of Nomesim. Taeun very low as Dudu, the Year Dudu, gets the big shutdown. But I think the Year Dudu will end here as Scout is taking a bunch of damage. Closer's like, we got to go. But meanwhile, the entire team is being roasted in the backline by a Jarvan. Closer, all by his lonesome, will be taken out. Nomesim immediately say, we get the Cloud Soul, we get the big fight. And they might just take the game.
Absolutely brutal, honestly. Just felt like DNS struggled to approach that one. Peter couldn't connect with the engage. And even though Dudu finds a great angle, I feel like the member of DNS who's had the most success this game basically just one-shots Taeun with the help of Peter's ult. The rest of the team just can't do much. Pioshik tries to jump onto Scout and nearly gets one shot. And I feel like Sponge and the Hens in particular this game have just been on fire. Sponge is just not missing a beat with his engages. Lehens as well has just been moving. Okay, he missed that Zenith Blade. He's been moving around the map, dictating the pace of the game. And with that being said, this feels like game. You know, the Baron doesn't have too much left, but the Cloud Soul,
Yeah.
they have all the speed they need to make things happen.
And there's really no fight back from the side of DNS. Like, they have a Rek'Sai, and that's about it. You know, finally, you know, Doc Dom's beginning to hit some sort of spike, but it's just all way too late, and the enemy team has levels, they have items, they're not chewing through anybody.
His Triforce Mirror Mana and a Dirk against IE, Fiend Hunter Bolts, Kraken Slayer, and the, what's it called? The, quiver thing. Brendan, help me.
It does look like a quiver.
What's it called?
I always think it kind of looks like a little mini cannon, like a blunderbuss or something. I don't know. I never really saw the quiver until I looked a little closer. But yeah, I don't know.
Why don't you know the...
Why don't you know the name?
I forgot this one. Noon Quiver, that's it. I forgot one thing.
Yeah. Well, should have remembered.
God, you're so... You never help me with these things.
I'm not the guy with the names, you know? I'm not the one that knows the names.
Okay, other than your whole burger thing,
yeah.
What are you going to help me with?
Was the burger thing helping you?
No, but just what is your, like... what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table?
I came kind of empty-handed today, sorry.
Yeah, you didn't have a burger with you.
Yeah, no
Unless
burger
you're hiding
today.
a burger under the table? No?
No burgers today. We did have some sort of fried chicken for dinner.
Man.
It was good.
You're really dropping the ball in your whole bit here, right?
Maybe I should just buy a burger every day and just film it. Honestly, it would be more interesting than these games so far because they have not been very close.
They've been pretty one-sided. That's fair. That's true. We do now have the Actualizer coming in and the GA for Sponge, so he was already going pretty aggressive. Now he can do so very recklessly. Yeah, it's just not even remotely close at this point.
Well,
apart from Dudu. Dudu's doing great. You're a Dudu's still going strong.
He's down a level.
That's something I take major issue with. You said in the last fight, well, the year of Dudu's over. It's not. He just died in that fight. That doesn't mean the year is over.
Momentarily was suspended. Was the intent.
He took a holiday.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the year's over.
Sure.
People are allowed to take breaks, Brendan.
Well, not Dudu, not with the team in this state. He needs to be ready to go.
He's trying his best.
Notice.
He's the only person with the gold lead.
Taeun
on his team.
Stepping into dredge line range. I mean, that will be one of the ways that DNS can maybe come back. They need to hit a dredge line, kill Taeun, and not expend too much. Yes. Yes, in theory. Honestly, if I'm Peter, probably you just flash and try to trade flash with Taeun. But obviously he doesn't. They don't have any vision. Like, they don't know who's there. He could do that, get the hook, and immediately the whole team shows up.
I think you just send it and then deal with the consequences. The game is in a pretty doomed state. If you lose, you lose.
Because they're going to lose anyway.
They're still in the game.
Might as well take a big risk.
Exactly.
Yep. We'd have Baron in 15 seconds.
Or you just flip it on the Elder. Oh, we love it.
Well, we have seen a specific T1 team do that from very far behind.
Flipping on the Elder, always the
They were not fighting against a Yunara, as far as I can remember. Yeah, even the shock blast into Taeyeon is not that big of a deal. As Duckdom, he does have flash, but he also does not have a health bar. Down he will go, and the wallets are just gigantic. Closer's like, I'm playing an Ivy, I'll stop them. Nope, not gonna happen. Doodoo. Here, Doodoo's still going strong, but...
just run away, Doodoo.
Yeah,
Stay safe.
Take the tunnel.
Stay safe.
Grab the wave in mid lane, maybe.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
I think this is drastically reducing the chances that DNS have to flip the Elder. But, you know, Doodoo's keeping the hopes alive.
Yeah. And so they say, well, we got 3 of them. Let's take the Baron.
Yeah, Doodoo's stolen the game out, keeping it alive.
He is.
Honestly,
he's doing a great job.
He's doing his best. He's doing everything he can. This was pretty rough. The ult just clipped him.
Yeah, that looked like it did.
It's just the plane has such wide wings, you know? The wingspan.
It's a great board game, actually.
Yeah. And then Doodoo just tunnel. That's the thing is that, you know, Doodoo is actually legitimately hard to kill and pretty threatening.
What about this time?
He's testing it right now.
Okay.
Not that hard to kill, all things considered. If all people are
he
hitting
got
you.
space for the team.
Yes.
He got space for the team to move in. Oh, shock blast.
Did not do that much, all things considered.
It did.
And their strongest member is now dead. Sponge is 4
no,
levels up.
They got vision of Yoshi. Oh no, he's dead. Yeah, there's no hope here as the solar flare hits 2. Duckdom is dead. There we go.
Yeah, let's not even bother flipping the Elder.
And it's 30 minutes, and Nongsim will win game at #1 with a 15,000 gold lead. GG.
GG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said this last series. I don't think game 2 can be as bad.
You know, I feel like there wasn't as straightforward of a issue early on.
That makes it feel weird, doesn't it?
We'll have to wait for our space to break it down. I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun. I feel like so many of our veterans are like taking huge steps up here early in this year.
I don't know, but Lan's definitely establishing dominance a lot of it in this game. And Hib and Sponge doing a lot of work to set their team up. Yeah, heartbreaking for Doodoo, but his year's still going strong. Still a chance to recover this series.
저기다. 노틸이 있을 거야. 나 오른쪽 갈게.
얘 혼자다.
나이스. 이거 야 제이스 나온다. 스마 삼각 주지 말고 그냥 바로 먹어 그냥. 그냥 오면 싸워. 땡겨 위로 땡겨. 어느 방식으로도 걸어도 돼.
얘들 이거 제이스 프리써.
저기 생각할게. 내가 탑쪽으로 나온다.
무조건 싸움이야 이거.
나 그냥
이거 시야에 걸게.
제이스 볼게. 오케이 나이스.
야 이거 노플. 감기 오른쪽.
야 그냥 감자.
애니비아 노플.
저기다. 야 미드 노플. 그냥 바텀라인 써도 되고. 안 된다.
미드 가야 돼.